truckers are very passionate about this issue, and it's being reflected in the amount of comments that we're seeing now.
The deadline to file comments with FMCSA on its proposed broker transparency reforms is here. If you're listening to this before midnight Eastern Time or 9 p.m. Pacific, you've still got a little more time to let the agency hear what you think about their bid to bring transparency to the broker business model. Joining us with the details, Mark Schrimmer, who's been tracking this issue from the start as senior editor of Landline Magazine. Mark, good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Scott.
So a quick check here of the regulations.gov website as we look at it right now. We've got a few thousand comments that have already come in. That is a pretty strong showing so far.
Yeah. I mean, I think it just went over 4,000,
Right.
which is crazy. And you think we were going into this extended, 3-day weekend, it was right about 2,700. So to get 1,300, almost, half of the comments that it took the first 80 some days to get. And now we have that again. It does show, as we've talked about so many times, this is a proposal that has roots all the way back to May of 2020. It started with protests from individual truck drivers that went to Washington, D.C. to talk about this issue. And, we've seen, whether it was at the Mid-America Trucking Show in Louisville or any sort of listening session that the agencies have had on this, truckers are very passionate about this issue, and it's being reflected in the amount of comments that we're seeing now.
Yeah, and that number obviously will go up, I think, as the hours tick away here, and hopefully there will be more that come in because it does really make a statement to FMCSA when you've got a strong showing like this. We should, I think, probably, for those who maybe have not been paying attention to this very closely over the past few weeks, just kind of explain what this proposal would do. Essentially, it would really open up transparency, right, among the brokers out there.
Yeah. So if you go back, there were all. This is one of the things that makes this a little complicated, is to think that broker transparency regulations have existed for decades, all the way back to the 1980s. They're already there. But they haven't been enforced, and there have been a lot of loopholes that brokers have used to evade these regulations, and they've been, frankly, getting away with it for decades. What this would do includes 4 main provisions to kind of tighten things up. One of those would be that they would have to be this information that basically after any sort of business transaction was completed, that they would have to send the records to the shipper. The broker and the motor carrier would all have access to those. And what that would do, it would you think about claims and all of the fraudulent issues, everything out there would be out in front, and that's what we need. But one of the first provisions that we're looking at here is that they would have to be in an electronic format. One of the loopholes that brokers have used for a long time has been, okay, yeah, you can come look at these records.
Swing on by.
But yeah, just swing on by. I know you're out in California. Our offices are here in New Hampshire. Just come by sometime, and we'll get the old archives out, and you can take a look at them.
Right.
Email has existed for a while, and it seems like that's something very easy to do. And then there are several others too that emphasize the fact that it's a regulatory obligation upon the brokers to do this. But there's also steps that OIDA would like the agency to go even further to close these loopholes. But this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah. OIDA has said this is not a perfect proposal. There is an issue there with some of the penalties, as you kind of pointed out there, and the punishments, or the lack thereof, I should say. But the association has fully supported this. They have said,
Sure.
Todd Spencer, in his words, said, hell yeah, this will make a difference during a fireside chat, and he spoke with us as well. The association did file comments on this, and for the most part, they follow that, right? That this would make a difference and really help a lot of people out there.
Yeah, it's certainly. And like I said, going back to that, saying that truckers in May of 2020 protested this, OIDA followed that up with a petition shortly after for this rulemaking. And like I said, and you mentioned, OIDA is very supportive of this proposal and everything that would go in. But one of the things out of that petition originally was that brokers would need to automatically send these within 48 hours. And the current proposal as it sits is upon request. And so basically that is one thing that, the association, while definitely supportive of this and supportive of the effort, they also emphasized that this is an additional step that if you really want this to work the way it should, to have everything and have a level playing field. And that is something that OIDA mentioned in their comments several times, that phrase, level playing field.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, that automatic disclosure is going to be very important.
Yeah, this feels like one of these things that is a first step toward something bigger, and I know that that's what OIDA hopes.
Oh, yeah.
This is, and it does seem like that on many levels. Just to remind people out there, again, the comments really do make a difference. There have been more than 4,000 or roughly 4,000 so far. Fightingfortruckers.com is the place to do that. And really, the idea is to submit your experiences, right?
Yeah.
And not just make this a form letter, but explain why you think this would make the industry better.
Yeah, and I think a big thing of this, if you're a driver that thinks that broker transparency is needed, but you also feel like this falls short on any level, file your comments, say that broker transparency is needed and that you support this, but also include where it falls short. Don't just go, well, it falls short, so I'm not even going to bother.
Right. Yeah.
Help be a part of the process to get it to where you want it to be, to get it to that up here. If it's right here now, get it all the way, up to the top level of where you think it needs to be to actually help you, your business, and highway safety.
Yeah, for sure. Fightingfortruckers.com really is the easiest way to go about doing this, submitting those comments, again, before midnight Eastern Standard Time, 11 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Pacific. Mark Schirmer, we know you've been covering this for a while, and you'll continue covering it, and we appreciate you stopping by and providing all the details for us.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, thanks for watching. To stay up to date on the latest in trucking news, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified of new videos when they come out each week.